Beautiful people of Zamunda. What's good? This be's your girl Divine Karma coming in with this evening's oracle message. How are y'all? I sent you peace, light, love, and harmony as I always do about this time. Why? Because Divine Karma loves you, baby. I have been in and out. For those of you that been rocking with me since last year, you will notice a familiar setting. I am back in my old apartment, right? Y'all remember if you've been rocking with me for a minute, I'm back in my old apartment. So I've been moving around a little bit since I've been to San Diego because the studio apartment that I was renting, someone was in it. So it finally came available last week, and the lady called me because they always told me if I come back and stay here permanently, they would rent to me. So here I am. So that is why I have been a little bit all over the place, on top of the fact that I have worked 12 days straight. This is my first off day in 12 days. And between last Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I worked 24 hours, right? Within a 3-day time span. So your girl was tired and moved today. So it's a lot. But I am here. And we'll get back on track with my daily messages and readings and things of that nature. Let's talk about it. Selfish and selfless, right? Spirit, speak to me, through me, and for me, please. When you are in a relationship, situationship, whatever the ship is, marriage or whatever, right? You have to you can't be selfish, right? You have to have that energy of selflessness. And for me, I don't think this is me. I don't believe a man should submit to a woman, and I don't believe a woman should submit to a man. I believe that they should submit to this beautiful union, this meeting, this arrangement, this whatever have you, that God, Source, Allah, Buddha, Yah, the divine has created for you to be in this moment, in this energy, in this galactical experience. All right. You should submit to that, right? Submit to the union. That's where I'm at. And in order to submit to the union, you have to be in a very selfless energy, right? Selfishness has no place when it comes to being in a committed relationship with someone, right? Because you have to submit to the union. You have to submit to putting the work in. You have to submit to the ups, the downs, the ebbs, the flows, the challenges, right? The growing pains, the getting to know each other, the all of that, right? And you can't be in a selfish energy, when you in that type of situation, right? You have to be selfless, or it will never work. It's like, I'm a Capricorn sun, right? That's my sun sign. And let me tell you something. Any guy, any man that I've known for an extensive amount of time will tell you I'm spoiled rotten. This is true. This is true. Spoiled. Because in previous relationships I've been married twice. And but because I give everything to the union. I give me all 100%, 111% to the union, right? And I don't toot my own horn. I have my own flaws. I have my own issues. But when it comes to loving someone 111% and giving my all, that is me. That is me in relationships. I'm not really the cheater type. I'm not the one to be in the streets type. I'm not the one to. I'm just, I'm a homebody for the most part. I want to love, and I love to be loved, right? That's how I move. So with that being said, I make sure that I give my all to the man that I'm with, and that in return has caused men to pretty much spoil me rotten. And it's not in a bad way, right? It's not in a bad way. It's just because I do what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm not saying that a woman has her place, but I have grown to understand, and understand what a grown, responsible man wants from his woman, spiritually, energetically, vibrationally, right? and I give all that I can to provide that. So, with that being said, I ended up getting spoiled. Now, does that make me selfish? Never. There's nothing, you should give your all to a relationship. But on the flip side of that, right? Selfless, selfishness. When you are single and on your journey, and this has been me lately because I've really been in the mood of not being lonely but being alone. You know what I'm saying? It's two different things. Being alone is the physical aspect of not having someone laying in the bed next to me. Lonely is an energy. I'm not lonely. I've been dealing with the energy of just being alone, right? And when you're single and still working on yourself, doing the shadow work and still, working on loving yourself, flaws and all, wholeheartedly, you have to be selfish, right? You have to put self first because we don't attract what we want. You hear me out here? I say it all the time. We attract who we are, right? And with that being said, you have to love yourself wholeheartedly. You have to wake up in the morning and look in the mirror and be 111% satisfied with the individual that is staring back at you. And let me tell you something. I'm going to be the first to admit sometimes that is a really, really tough thing to do because, we make mistakes in life. We make wrong decisions. I don't want to say wrong decisions, but we make decisions that probably wasn't the best at the time, right? Myself included. And then I had a reality check the other day when I looked in the mirror and I did not like what I saw because I was around somebody that triggered me, right? And I let them trigger me and they pushed buttons that I had not had pushed in a very, very long time. And I found myself very angry and very bitter. And I lashed out in the most, it was very, very not who I am, cussing out and finger pointing and that. So, and I looked in the mirror and realized I did not like what I saw. So when we are on that journey of working on ourselves, and even in relationships, sometimes you might have to take a little break, a little space. When you're working on yourself, you have to be selfish. It has to be all about you because you can't give something to somebody else that you already don't have inside. And you hear me say all the time, happiness is an inside job. No one can make you happy. You have to make you happy first. Anybody else, friendship or relationship wise, that's just icing on the cake. Whether you liked whipped cream, vegan, or whatever have you, right? But you have to be selfish when you are working on you. You have to be selfish when you are trying to make sure that person that is staring back at you in the mirror every morning is the individual that you want it to be, right? And you can only do that being in a selfish energy. And I know people get really, twisted and tongue-tied about, being selfish. But let me tell you something. When I came out of my last marriage, I had to be the most selfish person around me. Why? Because I knew that I knew I was damaged. I knew I was damaged. I knew I was hurt. I took over a year to where when I say I did not talk to anybody, ain't no need of you, wasn't no need you try to give me your number or none of that was going on. I spent most of my time either at like Barnes and Nobles, in my room, reading, journaling, writing, and dealing with self and doing that shadow work and healing myself, right? You have to be selfish when you are trying to be the best version of yourself, because if you cannot be the best version of yourself for self, you absolutely cannot be that best version for anyone else, whether it's friendship, work, relationship, marriage, whatever, right? When you are working on you, selfishness has to be at the top of the priority list. Why? Because you're working on you. You're working on you so you can give the best of you to your loved ones, to your children, to your friends, to your family, but most of all, to give it to your damn self first, right? Man, date yourself for a while. Take yourself out on some dates for a while, right? So just that balance between understanding selfless and selfishness. This is your girl, Divine Karma. You know the drill. I love you and I